feels the most natural to me. I want to get more comfortable with like personal affection videos in future. Like really looking at the camera and saying, relax, 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 and such. But my comfort zone is just rambles. This is me trying to crack my knuckles. That was a good one. I'm sad that the other ones don't want to go. So we're just gonna talk and chill. I was watching a video earlier by an ASMR artist who, I forget their name, maybe I'll add it somewhere here. Maybe there's nothing on screen right now because I was too lazy to add it. But she went through each year of her schooling and she just told a story about kindergarten, first grade, second grade, all throughout until her senior year, I believe. So I might do that. And if you don't know me, that'll help you get to know me. And if you do know me, it might still help you get to know me a little bit better. Because it's not very often that I go through my memories year by year for you guys. So, let's start off with kindergarten. My first year of kindergarten, I remember not all of it. I think it would be insane if you remembered everything about your kindergarten experience, but I have memories here and there. One of them that I kind of remember, but also was retold to me by my mother, was apparently because I'm born at the end of November, my parents had a choice to either send me to school when I was 3, to kindergarten when I was 3. School in Canada starts in September, so I would start my junior year of kindergarten when I was 3, and that November I would turn 4. But I was essentially almost a full year younger than everyone else. Or I could wait until the next year to start and just be the oldest in my class. So, my parents ended up deciding to send me to kindergarten when I was 3, a little bit earlier than most people do. I was almost a full year younger than the oldest students. And they were pretty scared that I was going to not do so well, because not just academically, but almost like emotionally, because I was a pretty attached child. I loved to be attached to my parents, constantly around them. I really liked attention and affection from them. Not much has changed. Except now I don't get it from my parents, I get it from the internet, baby. But they were a little bit concerned that I was not going to kind of mesh well emotionally with kindergarten. They were prepared to send me there essentially kicking and screaming, because they didn't think I would do okay. But they were not prepared for my reaction, because apparently my mom, on my first day of kindergarten, she got me all ready the school and everything. Got to the classroom. The door was open, welcoming all the new little kitty students in. And apparently, I let go of her hand, and I just ran in. And my mom was like, bye. And I turned around, and I was like, bye, Mom. Like, I bolted into that classroom. I was so excited to, like, make new friends and have this new, like, experience or whatever. Apparently, I wasn't upset at all. But then, I don't know if it was a few weeks in that I started being like, actually, I don't like this that much. And then I started complaining about it. But at first, I was like, hot diggity dog, let me into this gosh darn kindergarten classroom. I'm so excited. So, that is my, like, junior year of kindergarten memory. I remember being super excited and, like, enjoying my time there. Okay. Another kindergarten memory was about my first love. His name was Jack. He was this tall, olive-skinned, I'm kidding. He was this, like, I guess, tiny. I found him handsome at that age, 3 or 4, which is weird to think about. But I was, like, in love with him. And I remember wanting to let him know that I was in love with him. Because, obviously, how was he going to ask me to marry him if he didn't know that I loved him first? I was getting my priorities straight. You know, I had to start the ball rolling early. So, I decided that I was going to write him a love letter. And we used to have these little cubbies that each student could put, like, drawings or little notes in. It was kind of like a mail room for us, but you could put toys or whatever. I was going to put it in his mail cubby, essentially his mailbox, so that he would go in and, you know, he'd see my love letter, read it, realize that he felt the same way all along, confess his undying love to me. We'd live happily ever after. Life set, straight out the get-go at 3 years old. Now, this did not end up happening as planned, because unbeknownst to me, I had a writing impediment that I think the year after junior or senior year in kindergarten, I had to do writer's therapy, like actually work with a writing therapist, I don't know what they're called, to relearn how to hold a pencil, how to write letter, like each individual A, B, C, how to write, because I was holding the pencil wrong, putting too much pressure, and essentially what came out of it was chicken scratch. That, plus the fact that I was behind my grade level in my English skills. I think that's because my first language was Portuguese until I was 4, because my parents were immigrants, or I guess 3, because my parents were immigrants. So I was a little bit behind in English, and my writing was so messy that it was unintelligible. So I didn't know how to spell most words, even words that, as a kindergartner, you're learning how to spell. I wrote on a piece of paper, I confessed my love to Jack. Something along the lines of, I love you, Jack. Love, Peach. Something heartfelt, such as that. And folded it up, put it in his mailbox. And then, you know, I got so nervous awaiting him to go check his mail. Kind of like when you send a risky text and you're waiting for the person to, like, read on, like, 10 whatever p.m. I was, like, waiting for him to open it, super nervous. I went and I hid under a table. And after a while, sure I saw him take the letter out of his mailbox, open it, and then put it back, or throw it out or something. And a girl was hurt. A girl was hurt because I didn't understand why he didn't have a bigger reaction to me telling him that I loved him. So I was like, maybe he didn't understand. Maybe he didn't read who it was from. This must be a mistake. I was coping hard. So I went up to my other friend. Her name was, I'll make up a name. Let's call her Diaz. I went up to Diaz and I was like, hey, I sent this love letter to Jack. I confessed my love to him. And I don't know what's wrong. I don't know if he read my letter or if he understood what it was, because they were friends. So she goes and asks him if he got my letter. And essentially he tells her he doesn't know how to read. And especially not my handwriting. So my first expression of my love, the first time I professed my love, was to a boy that didn't know how to read and who couldn't read my letter. So that sucked, but Jack, if you're out there, that was his real name, Jack. I can't say I love you still. I have a boyfriend now. Listen, I'll leave my boyfriend for you, Jack. We haven't seen each other in 20 years, but please, call me. Good times. Very good times. What else happened in the kindergarten? I remember 2 things. One of them was really mean. And, oh gosh, but I feel like I need to own up to it now. I'm better than this now. There was a girl in my class, let's call her Becca. And Becca used to always want to play with me. And for some reason, I just never wanted to play with her. But when she would play with me, I was an introvert back then, and I still am an introvert now. I just usually wanted to play alone. So her insisting to play with me wasn't my vibe. And when she would play with me, she would take the toys that I wanted to play with. And I just hadn't learned my sharing is caring moral lesson yet. So it would make me really upset when she would play with me and then take the toys that I wanted to play with. And I couldn't handle it. So one day I learned that she had chicken pox and that she was going to be out of school for a week or 2 or something. And I just have this memory of being so happy that she had contracted chicken pox, because she just annoyed the living daylights out of me. Now looking back, I feel kind of mean for reveling in someone's itchy misery so much. But that was I was so happy for her downfall. I was preying on her downfall, truly, and I was so happy when I heard she wasn't gonna come to school and be able to interfere with my solo playtime or my pick of the litter of toys during my playtime. God bless. God bless, that was fantastic. There was one more memory in my kindergarten year that I remember. I feel like these give you insights into who I am as a person. And this memory is my kindergarten teacher had a little finger puppet show stand you would have for regular puppets, but this was for the finger puppets. And I forget what the puppet was named, but the character was a little fairy. And when the children did something good, like they cleaned up after themselves and they behaved during recess and stuff, the little fairy finger puppet would come out and give us a little show, and she would thank us and be really happy. And then sometimes if we were bad, the fairy would come out and she'd say, "Children, you have to clean up after yourselves," stuff like that. Innocent stuff like that. Now, I don't know who raised me, but I was built different, clearly, because while the other dumb kindergartners believed that this was a fairy, but you have to put yourself in the shoes of 3 and 4-year-olds. A lot of us didn't think that that was a finger puppet. We thought that was a fairy, and our teacher kept telling us that it was a fairy. But I saw through this charade. I knew that that puppet was on her hand, her finger, and that she was controlling the voice. Because I guess she would hide her face while she was doing it. And I just remember one day during one of these puppet plays, I put up my hand and I just made a scene about how the fairy wasn't real. How I knew the fairy wasn't real, just like the tooth fairy wasn't real. And that it wasn't like she was lying to us, that the fairy was lying, that my kindergarten teacher was lying. Lying is bad, and they were lying, and they were play pretending, and it wasn't truthful, and it wasn't nice, okay? Because in a weird way, that fairy caused coercion in this classroom, because the fairy would give us rewards and punishments if we did good things or bad things. But the fairy the children thought was magical. At least a lot of them did. So if we didn't clean up, there'd be a magical punishment. They thought it was like God. That, okay, well now we can't have recess because the magical fairy told us we don't get extra recess. Or now we get special snack because we were good and the fairy was watching us. It was suspicious. It was weird. And I was no longer going to be silent to this fairy finger puppet dictatorship. So I called her out and I got in trouble for it. I think because I was unnecessarily heated. I remember being quite upset, and I don't know why I was so upset. I think I just felt lied to. Maybe it's because it took me a while to realize the fairy was fake, and then once I realized it, I felt betrayed. But whatever it was, my teacher called my mom. They had a talk, and I don't remember what came of it, but I do remember I got in trouble for disrupting the puppet time and for just being really upset at the fairy puppet situation. Puppet. I love that word. Those were some of my good hacking kindergarten memories. Thank you for coming to this ASMR video. We are going to cover the next memories / story times in our next video. I'm recording them all at once, but I'm going to break them up into chunks and post them on different days of the week, just to kind of stagger the ASMR content. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to thumbs up it, poggers, pog, and subscribe so that you can get notifications when I post, which hopefully is going to be more often now. But nonetheless, I love you guys, and check out my Twitch if you're not here from Twitch. It's cool. I stream from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. every single day. And I love you guys. Goodbye. Have a really, really great morning or afternoon or evening, depending on where you are from.